Hi again. Okay, for this chapter, I want you to choose about, say, 5 or 6 words that you don't quite understand. The first thing I want you to do with those 5 or 6 words is to put them in alphabetical order, okay? And then I want you to look up their meaning, please. And I want you to write down what those words mean. And then I'd like you to write a sentence for each of those words. Okay, it's quite a big task, this one, and I look forward to receiving your responses. Chapter 33. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay calm and stand away. Startled faces stared. Frightened bodies stepped back. Someone screamed. Someone laughed. The whole crowd watched as Marcus Bishop emerged from the shop, one arm wrapped around Wild Boy's neck and gripping a pistol. The gentleman's other hand swept his sword in a wide arc, clearing a path to move forward. I have captured the Wild Boy of London, and I claim the reward. I intend to deliver him to the officers in the parade. Anyone who tries to stop me will receive a bullet in the neck. Now, please let me pass. Some of the crowd scoffed, thinking it a prank. The ragged, filthy boy was covered in hair, but surely someone so short and slim couldn't be the Wild Boy of London, monster and murderer of 2 men. Marcus's sword, though, was no joke. As one, the crowd edged back farther, making way for the gentleman. Back, Marcus said. You fat lady, stand aside. The fat lady stood aside. Everyone stood aside, parting like the Red Sea to let them through. As the crowd pressed back, the chain of policemen struggled to keep them from spilling into the route of the Lord Mayor's coach parade. Wild Boy struggled to breathe in Marcus's powerful grip. He was amazed by how well this was working. It wasn't just the weapons that held the mob back. It was Marcus, the force of his words. He'd never seen someone in such complete command. But he knew it wouldn't last. The reward on his head was too high. Some of the crowd edged closer. Clammy hands reached for him. Hot faces leered. Marcus cracked one man on the head with his pistol, but still they came. Get the freak, someone yelled. Split the reward. Wild Boy kicked another man, who lunged at him, but there were too many. They grabbed his arms, dragging him from Marcus's grips. Shoot, Wild Boy yelled. What? Marcus said. Shoot your blooming gun. It was their last chance. Raising his pistol, Marcus fired into the sky. The crowd reeled back, tumbling into one another. The police couldn't hold them any longer. The blue line broke and bodies sprawled past. They collided with the marching band, sending tubas and trombones clattering. Now, Wild Boy cried. Bursting forward, he ran over the backs of the crowd and into the path of the parade. He pelted towards the circus tent between the 2 lines of police. The officers saw him, but they couldn't break their chain without letting the rest of the crowd swamp the procession. It's the Wild Boy of London, someone shouted. He's after the Lord Mayor. But the mayor was far behind. Wild Boy's lungs burned and his legs strained. As he got near the big top, he saw a familiar figure waiting at the entrance. Sir Oswald hopped on one hand and waved urgently with the other. Master Wild, he said, thank the heavens you are safe. But where is Miss Everett, and what is this business? These gentlemen ordered me to bring Mr. Finch to the circus. They said it was upon your request. Surely he's the last person you would wish to see right now. Wild Boy leaned against the circus pay box, catching his breath. Now that he was here, he was more scared than ever about what he had to do. He looked at Sir Oswald, wondering if he should tell him what he knew about the killer, but he decided to stick to his plan. I don't have much time, he gasped. I'll explain inside. Even in the spluttering light of the gas chandelier, the circus tent was dark and dank. Rainwater leaked through holes high in the canvas, turning the sawdust into slush. The other gentlemen were here, guarding 2 prisoners in the middle of the ring. Augustus Finch and Mary Everett. The showman and ringmaster looked almost amused by the gentleman's pistols, Both of them were well used to run-ins with the law, but when they saw Wild Boy, their faces changed. Mary Everett's mouth curled from a sneer into something like a snarl, the crust of powdered makeup cracking across her cheeks. Finch glared at Wild Boy, stroking the deep purple scar that ran over his nose. His other hand slid towards his waistcoat, inside which Wild Boy knew the showman kept his favourite knife. Marcus came up behind Wild Boy, breathing hard. He gripped one of the chandelier's guys rope and winced from the pain in his knee. "Are you sure you know what you are doing?" he said. Wild Boy nodded, although suddenly he wasn't sure at all. Ever since the tower, he'd been running on anger and adrenaline, barely stopping to think. Now he felt sick with fear of the mob behind him and of the killer, who was just yards away from him, now in this tent. "Well, then," Marcus said, "this is your show, Wild Boy. Shall we begin?" Okay, so 5 or 6 words that you're not quite sure of, pop them into alphabetical order, find out what the words mean, and then write me 5 or 6 sentences. Thank you.